Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today I will be showing you how I achieved this makeup look using my Norvina palette. I think it turned out really pretty, kind of a more everyday, more natural take on it. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, then keep on watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face, and I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Pore Filler Primer / base. And I'm just going to put this all over my areas. My T-zone, usually that's where I'm the most porous. So I'm going to put that over here. Okay, so once that's on those areas, next I take my Milk Makeup Blur Stick and I put this pretty much all over my face. So next, I always do my eyebrows first before anything else. And I'm using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit, and I'm in the shade 5. Okay, so now that I just quickly fill them in, I'm going to carve them out real quick with my Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Neutral, and this will really just help clean them up and make them look sharper and overall better. So I'm gonna do that on a little flat brush. So now I do foundation, and I am using the Superstay Full Coverage Maybelline New York foundation in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. And to do this, I just put it on my finger and I dab it all around my face. And this is a little dark for me, but we don't mind being a little tan. And now that I look like a crazy person, I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and I'm gonna start buffing this end of the skin. Okay, and once that is all buffed in, I'm going to take my Shape Tape Concealer again, and I'm gonna put this right under my eyes to brighten that area, on my chin, a little bit on my nose, and my forehead. And since I will be doing eyeshadow today, I'm also going to take this and press it onto my eyelids so that it acts as a base so that the eyeshadow stays longer. So now that's in, I'm going to take my powder. This is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. This is drugstore. It's really awesome and it works really well. And I am just going to take a small brush. This is a unicorn brush. It's from Amazon. All of my other brushes are like either It Cosmetics, these unicorn brushes, or they're not branded at all. So there you go. But I'm gonna take this on a small brush and I'm basically just going to set all the areas that I concealed. This foundation is very matte. So I found, for me at least, when I put powder all over my face, throughout the day it just looks cakey and dry and flaky, and it just does not look good, at least on my skin. So I figured out the best way was to just set the areas that I concealed, and I don't use a sponge either because I do feel like it just cakes it on and it looks dry. And I am most oily on my chin, so that's where I really like to pack in the powder. I'm gonna take a bigger brush and brush away any excess powder. and I'm going to bronze my face just to add some warmth back into it and some color. This is so old. It's Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in the shade Take It to Brazil. I think I need a new bronzer, but that's what we have. So this is just a random brush that I've had for a super long time. And I'm gonna dip it in, and we're gonna go on the cheeks. And once that is done, I'm going to go in with blush, and this is the Tarte blush in the shade Genius. This one does take a little bit of building up to get the pigmentation on there, but I'm taking the same brush and I'm just gonna dab this on my cheeks. Just a mix of like swirling and dabbing on there. Okay, and then I also take a little bit on my nose as well, because although I'm loving this fall weather, I do miss the summer sun-kissed look that the sun tends to give, and so I usually just like pat it on my nose. I know not a lot of people do this, but I feel like it does give me some color, and it just makes me look a little better, I guess, or more sun-kissed, if you will. Once I put highlighter over it, it won't look as intense. So once that is on, then I go ahead and I take my beauty blender, and you'll see me do this a lot in this video probably. Every time I put on powders, I always take my sponge and I pat them in. And I like to do this just because I feel like it makes the powders not look like they're sitting on top of my skin as much. It looks like it's like setting into my skin. So I really do like this technique. I just push it in, make sure it's really set in there, and I think it works really well. So after that, normally if I don't do eyeshadow, this is where I would do my highlight and my mascara or whatever and just call it a day. But since I am doing eyeshadow, I will be coming back to the highlighter just in case if there's any fallout, then I can wipe it away and not mess up the highlight. So today I'm going to be using my Norvina palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I haven't actually used this yet, so I think it'd be fun to see what kind of look I can do. I kind of want to use some purples and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this color right here. It's called Incense, and I'm just applying this with a very light hand, going back and forth between windshield wiper motions and circular motions to make sure that the shade is blended out as best as possible. And then I want to use this purple as well. It's called Soul. It's really pretty. So I'm thinking I'm going to put this kind of over it and intensify that area. Okay, so once that looks like that, I think I'm going to take, let's do Passion, which is this outer color right here. It's like a kind of like a maroon brown color. It's really pretty for fall too. And I'm just going to take that on the same brush and put this on my very outer V to deepen it. Okay, and before I do the lid color, I'm going to highlight my brow bone, and I'm going to be using this color called Base. It's the lightest shade in the palette. And I do this so that there's no harsh lines between the shadow and my skin. And this kind of helps just blend everything together and gives it a nice little highlight. And then for the lid, I want to stick with the purple, I think. So I think I'm gonna go in with Celestial. It's this color right here. And I think for that, honestly, I'm just gonna go with my finger because I realize a lot of the times just stamping it on with your finger works the best than using a brush, because sometimes brushes don't really pick up the pigments as well. See, like that. And I'm just gonna stamp it on my lid. And then if I need to touch it up, I can go in with a smaller brush and kind of get like the inner corner that my finger couldn't reach. That's pretty. I never do purples either, but I thought for a first time for this video, I think this would be pretty because that's like the whole point of this palette are the purples. Now if there's any fallout, I can just wipe it away with this brush. And I'm gonna be going in with this. This is also a Real Techniques brush. It's kind of like a slanted brush. I use this for my lower lash line as well. But I'm just gonna like lightly dip in and finish that inner corner right there. And then I think I wanna deepen the outside more as well. So I'm gonna go in with Volatile. It's a dark brown. And just apply this, whoa, hello pigment, just on the outside. Stamp it on with this brush and then blend it out with a lot of the brush. Eyeshadow for me is just a lot of going back and forth and re-intensifying colors and building them up. Okay, and now for the inner corner, I'm gonna be taking the same brush. I'm just gonna wipe it off real quick. And I think I might go in with Dreamer. It's this color, it's pretty light as well. It's a light shimmer, it looks really pretty. And I think I'm just gonna put that right in the corner right here. Kind of blend it upwards. I'm gonna go back in with, let's do Volatile, that dark brown again. And this really just helps intensify the look a little bit and give it that smokiness and just give it a little pop of color as well on the bottom lash line. I think we're good on that eye. So before I come back and do mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, I kind of do things in a weird order. So I have to do my highlight left, but first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my brows and just re-intensify them in places, just in case if some powder fell on them or foundation or whatever got on them in the midst of it all. So I'm just going back in with my pencil and just kind of re-intensifying certain areas, making them really defined. Okay, so now that my brows are to my liking, I go in with my e.l.f. brow gel. This is like $5 at Walmart, and it works pretty well, so come through drugstore. But basically I'm just gonna be running this through my brow hairs, brushing them in the direction that I want them to fall, and that's about it. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to do my highlight, and for that I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and I think I'm going to go in with Butterscotch probably and Gumdrop. Because this foundation is a little darker, I don't think the yellowy shade and the pink shade will be fit for this. I'm gonna go in with the gold ones to match it better, and for that I'm just taking this little cheap fan brush that I've had forever, and I think I'm just gonna mix the two, and yeah, we're just gonna I think that's good. And now again I'm taking my beauty blender, and if you want to leave it like this you can, but I feel like doing this really makes the highlight look like it's coming more from your skin, like an inside glow, I guess, instead of just looking like it was brushed on top of your skin, if that makes sense. Like I feel like this really just makes it look a little more natural, but it's still blinding, if you know what I mean. So now I'm gonna do setting spray, or no, actually I'll do lips first. So dig through my black hole here. I saw it this morning. Here it is. Thank you. Okay, So this is, I just got this pretty recently actually, the same day that I got my Norvina palette. This is a Tarte lipstick and it's so pretty. It's called Salt Life. It's part of the collection where whenever it's like all that water themed stuff, I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's from there and it's a really pretty nude and I thought it would match my eyes really well. So I already applied lip balm and I feel like that's a really crucial step before putting on lipstick, just to help moisturize and make sure that it sets in nice. So I'm just gonna apply this really quick. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so now I'm gonna do setting spray. And the reason I do setting spray before mascara is because mascara typically is my last step. And I feel like if I just apply mascara and then I put my setting spray on, it gets everywhere. Like, and I'm not patient enough to let it dry if that's like my last step that I'm doing. I don't feel like sitting there and waiting for it to dry for like 5 minutes. So I just go ahead and spray my face and set it, and then I apply mascara and then just let it dry on its own. So at least my face can be setting while I do mascara. So I use two. I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and this is really good. It's only like $15 too. I used to use the Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray, and that's like $45, but this does the exact same thing, so I highly recommend. And then this is also the Mario Badescu Skin Care, and this is the Aloe Cucumber and Green Tea. I can't talk today. Green Tea one. And I feel like this one just smells really good. It's really hydrating and refreshing, and this one sets it, and I can't decide which one I want to use, so I do both. Oh, that feels so good. And I literally just like drench my face. I love this lipstick too. Like I've never tried a Tarte lipstick before, I don't think. And it's like really creamy and velvety. Love it. Okay, so now we are good there. Now it's time for mascara. So I, again, use two. Two is better than one. So I use the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. This is like my go-to. But recently I picked up the sample of the Benefit Bad Gal Mascara because I wanted to try it and I really like it. So I actually might get the full thing. But basically both mascaras do different things. So first I go in with the Roller Lash Mascara. And this really separates the lashes and gives them length. And the Bad Gal one gives them volume. So together it's like goals. So I'm just gonna apply this real quick. And these mascaras alone too are great. But again, when you can't decide which one to use, just use both. Next mascara. Okay, and then this is like one last random step that I do, and I kind of do it whenever I remember. Sometimes it's before setting spray, sometimes it's after. But I go in with this Hello Flawless Benefit powder. It's like almost empty. But because my foundation is a little darker, I do blend it down my neck, but I feel like I just started doing this recently, and I know this is like kind of weird, but this powder is also a little too dark for me. So I literally just like take this and put it on my neck, and I feel like it actually does help blend the foundation to my neck, so it's not like a visible line or anything. So I kind of just put that like down wherever. Alright guys, so here is the finished look. I had a really fun time filming this video, and these are just some of the techniques that I personally use in my everyday makeup and how I like to do my makeup. So I hope you enjoyed, and I like this for just an everyday kind of more natural look but still incorporating the purples. I think it's really pretty and I like how it turned out. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for my next one. I will be posting probably every weekend now that I have kind of a more set schedule. And don't forget to subscribe if you liked it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.